Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Capricorn. So, Capricorn, as usual, I'm doing this reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you see are from this deck. So, Capricorn, your reading today starts with a question, and I feel like this is you asking a partner about how this deal is going to work now, how this agreement can be renegotiated or reestablished in a way that feels a lot more fair for the both of you. In a way that, like, the things that were not functioning or were not just, were not balanced, were just creating heartbreak and disharmony and disappointment. They are all put to the past or put aside, and something very precious can be added to this relationship, to this partnership. And I feel like there is a little bit of defensiveness in your part, because I feel like what you're trying to propose to your significant one is something that is valuable to you, but you're not sure if they see the same value that you do. So it's almost like something that is incredibly important to you, but not necessarily they see as much value in that, right? So for you, there is a little bit of doubt, I want to say, or like this inability to perceive how they can value something that is important for you too, right? So we're beginning with the relationship itself, and the question coming from the Six of Pentacles that is very simple, right? Which is you asking yourself, asking the other, what is fair in this relationship? What does fairness mean in this dynamic? How can this be fair for you and for me? How can this be balanced and just and harmonious in a situation where we already have an agreement, right? Things have been progressing forward. Sometimes I see the Six of Pentacles as a train track. So things, they are moving, or they have been moving in a certain pace, in a certain rhythm, but not in a necessarily pleasant one, because with the Eight of Cups, I feel like either you, Capricorn, or the other, there is this imbalance, there is this disharmony, where one of you are feeling like you're either giving too much or receiving too much, right? The Eight of Cups here is talking about like the overlap of, somebody like emotionally depending upon the other, whether it's you or them or maybe both. But there is something that is draining the emotional energy, right? Even like the capacity to admire the other. So it feels very, how do I say, like very mundane. An agreement that might have started, with love and, just admiration, respect, and all of that. But how it's been going on, because there's been like this leakage, right? There's a lot of water being drained because of something that is not necessarily fair right now. It could have been fair, years ago, or, when you first agreed to be in this relationship in this way, but it's become too automatic, too what is the word, like too, like falling into a routine where you don't where the emotions are not being expressed, explored, like talked, right? So it's become too practical, too mundane, right? So because of this leakage, there is this either you or them, one of you are feeling like you lack this emotional connection because it's been draining and draining and draining. And the consequence of that, even though it seems to still be working, is actually this heartbreak that is coming with the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords here is talking about how this agreement, it's actually perpetuating a type of co-creation, because to me the threes bring this idea of co-creation, but bringing also the traditional meaning of the Three of Swords, which is very heavy in a way that, you know, it's almost like you're expecting heartbreak. You're expecting to feel disappointment with your partner or them with you, right? You're feeling like your emotions are already draining and there is no way to fix that leakage, right? There's something that it's almost like you're anticipating, because of this way that this has grown into like this partnership that is, you know, perpetuating heartbreak. It's almost like that's what you expect. So the frustration here, the sadness, the disappointment, the leakage, it's almost like it's almost part of the routine, right? It's not something that is a surprise. It's not something that you yes, it bothers you, right? That's what I was trying to understand here. Like, are you not bothered by that anymore just because it's become so common? Like, you've accustomed yourself with this routine, with this way of relating, but I feel like it's still very frustrating, right? Very painful, because it's not a way of co-creating that brings your life force back, or even like this sense of you being valued or seen by your partner. And this is exactly what I'm seeing here. The Ace of Pentacles coming after this. The way that you are bringing up this question of what is fair for both of us, or for us in general, right? How do we keep on doing this? How do we keep on relating to one another in a way that is fair and just? Because it seems like you have a proposition, you're bringing something to add to this, to correct this agreement, or to just bring some sort of adjustment, right? This actualization of the agreement. And it feels like you want to be seen, you want to be valued, you want to be recognized. There is some sort of acknowledgement that you're bringing, right? It's almost like, look, this is what I'm bringing. Like, please see the value in this. It's important to me. It's a shot at, you know, a new beginning for us. I don't want to keep on feeling like I'm just losing myself, or, you know, I'm losing admiration and love for you. I don't want to feel like I'm losing you or losing myself, right? Or co-creating something that is always, you know, just this cycle, like repeating, you know, heartbreak after heartbreak, disappointment after disappointment. So please see my value, recognize my value. There is something that is important. But the interesting thing here, Capricorn, is that I feel like you are willing to show that, to share that, to express something that is important and significant to you. But it seems like the first thing that needs to happen before this, before you add this to the agreement, to the relationship, is in regards to this leakage. Because the Seven of Cups, it's like this one step before you lose yourself, right? Or you lose your hope in just reigniting this love, right? Because if it continues, it's like it's not going to stop. Like, literally, it's like at some point your waters are going to, you know, be drained. But with the Seven of Cups, there is this control. It's almost like you're encapsulating something. So addressing this, right, it's important, because in a way it changes, or, you know, it's interesting, the word that is coming through is like it's changing the program, right? The programming of co-creating this, co-creating the heartbreak, co-creating the disappointment, the sadness, you know, this expectation that something will go wrong, that you're not going to be seen, that you're not going to be valued. But with the Seven of Cups, it's like how can we explore possibilities in this dynamic, but in this more emotional side of it, because this is where it's leaking, right? So this needs to be addressed first, and then you bring this new thing, this new valuable piece of information or proposition to the partnership. So this needs to be fixed first. And I feel like it starts with you taking this leap in terms of changing this way of co-creating, because if the Eight of Cups was being followed by the Three of Swords, now the Seven of Cups is being followed by the Two of Swords. So you see here how we have like this kind of like this limit situation, right? It's come to like this point of no return in a sense, but not really, right? It's like if you are here feeling like, one more drop and you're out of this, or you don't want to be in this agreement anymore, it's like this is because you have been co-creating, in a sense, this sense of disappointment, like really expecting that your partner is going to fail, or it's going to just make you angry, make you sad, make you disappointment, make you frustrated, right? So it's like you seeing this, acknowledging this yourself first. It's like this is how you address this thing, and then you can take a step back, right? So that instead of this becoming this perpetual type of co-creation, it's like now the Two of Swords, it's like you, Capricorn, very courageously, I want to say, because the Two of Swords to me brings the image of this blindfolded person that needs to trust in what they cannot see, which, to be honest, I feel like it's in regards to your partner. It's almost like you cannot see how can they value something that is incredibly valuable to you. How can they see that and trust that if everything until now it's pointing to the opposite direction, right? It's pointing to failure and just not working. So you need to trust, and this is what you're doing. First of all, just by bringing up that first question, what is fair for you and for me, for this to be a partnership? How can this work for the both of us? And I need to feel valued in this relationship. But before that, I need to know that, you're seeing how I am depleted. And so I feel like you need to trust in that, even though you cannot see, even though you have to go blindfolded, even though you have to take this leap in the dark, and doing so in a way that it's necessary, that you trust in yourself, that you trust in this. But with the Knight of Pentacles, it's like you're still carrying this. So this is the thing here. It's like, that you want to bring this. That this is the reason why you are asking to have this conversation in the first place. But before you expose this, before you bring this to the conversation, because it's still in your mind, it's still in your beingness, right? It's still kept inside your helmet, your shield, your armor. So until you can expose this, until you can bring this to the conversation, it's like first address this leakage, because it needs to be controlled. Because if it stays here, as I said, it's like you are going to feel completely depleted, right? And this is just going to be perpetuated endlessly, which is not what you want. And I feel like they don't want it either. It's just a matter of, falling into a routine that works. Yes, it might not be pleasant. Yes, it might not be, as loving and caring and sweet and, all of that. But it still works, right? It's still functioning. But how can you bring something that is going to enrich this relationship, because it's something that you do value, and you're afraid that they are not going to see how valuable this is for you, right? So this is the reason why I'm saying, like, it could just be like them seeing your own value. But it could also be like something that you know that is going to be enriching for this relationship, but they need to see the value in it too, so that it's a shared thing, right? So it's something that is part of this new agreement, this adjusted and reviewed agreement. So there is a little bit of defensiveness in terms of you finding the right time to expose this, because at first you need to trust that you taking this leap, you taking that step, despite you not really seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, right? It's like you cannot see how can they really embrace this that is very important for you. But if they see that you are, you know, kind of like losing your interest, losing your love, just, you know, losing your admiration, it's like they're going to see something that they weren't seeing also, right? This was perhaps like not in their mind, right? Because things were working on the physical side, right? On a daily basis, things were working. So they cannot, it's almost like you need to point to them the leakage. And then it's like once they see that, which I feel like they're not interested in, you know, continuing that as well, it's like they're going to be part of this this force of finding a solution, right? They're going to be part of this brainstorming discussion of like, how can we contemplate a possibility of, you know, encapsulating that so that this is not leaking anymore. And yes, I might not be, you know, this is your partner saying, yes, I might not be privy to the things that you show me, right? Because I need you to show me. So it's almost like that's the signal. It's like, once they tell you that they didn't know, that they weren't aware of something that, you know, they couldn't see, but now they can see because you were pointing at that for them, it's like that's when you know that you can bring something that is incredibly valuable, because now they are like at least willing to look at it, right? And it's gorgeous because the bottom of the deck here is the Ace of Cups. So it could be like blended, right? Something that is incredibly valuable, but at the same time, once you feel like there is some sort of receptivity on their part to receive this and to see the value in this, it's almost like your heart is reignited, right? Because it's real. It's like a tangible possibility of adjusting this relationship, adjusting this dynamic, which is no longer leaking, right? And therefore your heart is ready to hold space for that to be nourished, for this mutual relationship to be fed again. It's like it's not going to be depleted anymore, right? It's like your heart is going to be full again. It's not going to be draining and draining and draining. You see what I mean? I hope that's clear. Okay, so I am going to pull more cards for you, Capricorn, as well as the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find a link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.